You really only have two choices when it comes to where you place your awareness. This is inside the body somewhere, or within your thoughts, your mind. The way that I came to understand this was that I've always been the kind of person that analyzes everything constantly. You probably may have figured out by my channel. I do a lot of the time try to get to the bottom of things. I'm constantly trying to understand myself and things around me and the people around me. Maybe there's some level of my nature involved in this, the way I was created. But what I can see is that a lot of this was a defense mechanism from when I was a kid. It was my way of dealing with the cage that I was put in by my family situation, to try to protect myself by trying to understand why these people did what they did, or why I do what I can do so I can control it and avoid being in trouble in the future, or avoid being exposed, or avoid being in fear or pain or whatever it is. So most of the time, 99% of the time, my consciousness was placed on my thoughts, constantly in this chaotic process of trying to find answers. So what this meant was when I walked around outside, around people in public, or when I was in any sense exposed to another human being, my awareness was constantly on my thoughts in this situation. So let's say I'm walking down the street, my mind is just scanning around me, trying to protect me from possible threats, analyzing everything that's going on around me, being very aware of the people that are there and what they might be thinking and how I'm behaving and acting and how my body is positioned and all that sort of stuff. It wasn't as severe as I got older, but when I was younger, this produced a very intense social anxiety, almost bordering on agoraphobia. As I got older, it wasn't as intense, but it's still there to some degree. I can be very socially awkward. It's like I'm trying to control everything in social situations. It's like I'm trying to control myself too much. I'm trying to appear a certain way so I don't upset people, or I'm trying to figure everything out all the time so I'm not present and just expressing myself honestly. Just trying to manipulate who I really am in order to appear a different way to avoid pain. This is also expressed in my addictive nature, that I will do something that has a intense effect on the body or emotions, such as a drug or sugar, strong food. If I eat a lot of food at once, kind of binge eating, or some kind of behavior that triggers a high response in the body, I can get an impulsive urge to do it again very quickly, very strongly. This again is me being inside my thoughts and impulses. Trying to understand my addictive nature is one of the things that helped me come to this understanding of the two places that you can place your consciousness. I believe people who have had a very healthy upbringing, and some people may not even need that, some people may just spontaneously understand this. They automatically probably just do this. But for me, what I noticed was that the body would give off impulses, let's say to eat a whole bunch of sugar. So I struggled for years with this, and it still sometimes comes back. I had a real problem with alcohol and drugs and everything like that, where I would get these impulses to do them. Pictures in the mind telling me to eat the bunch of food or to go and get the drug or do this, have a drink, do that. It's whatever behavior. I'd see myself doing it. I'd picture me getting the thing. All the while in the body there's urges, there's an empty feeling, there's a hungry feeling that believes it wants the thing. But in trying to understand this, I realized that the sensation in the body is always the same. It never changes. Whether it's hunger whether it's thirst for alcohol, whether you want a drug, whether you want to binge on a bunch of food. It's always the same sensation in the body, a kind of empty feeling, insecure feeling that feels like it needs to be filled up. The only thing that changes is the thoughts. One day I might get thoughts of wanting some alcohol, or one day I might get thoughts of wanting to binge on a bunch of sugar. Or the thoughts might be for a particular food or drink, whatever it is. But the sensation in the body is always the same. It never changes. This means that it's a kind of illusion. It's where your thoughts are actually creating an illusion of a different quality of sensation, as though the sensation itself really actually wants this thing or needs this thing to survive. It's a trick. Maybe the body's just hungry. And if we don't have these habitual urge thoughts and we go to the sensation in the body, we can understand that, oh, I'm hungry. What is the best nourishing thing that my highest self would want? Whatever food that is to you. Clearly, our highest selves don't want us to take drugs and binge eat and drink alcohol and whatever else behaviors that we know are unhealthy. And we've tried all the things to stop these behaviors. It's a similar thing with people pleasing. We think that controlling our behaviors or behaving in a certain way will make people like us, or will rather allow us to avoid upsetting others. We're scared of exposing ourselves because of the fear of being rejected, because in the past we've been rejected. We were young, we were expressing ourselves, and we got in trouble for that. It caused us pain, so we hide. Maybe we think we're weird, so we hide. So when we're out in public, we try to control ourselves by being in our thoughts. This should be that, I should say this, they should say that, they're doing this, this is why, this is that, whatever it is. But instead, if we were to just place our consciousness inside the body, it's actually quite a peaceful place. Just breathe. Just be inside yourself. Be inside your arms, your chest, your stomach, your breath. There are ways to make this even more peaceful. A lot of the times we avoid being in our bodies because it's so uncomfortable. There's chaos in there, maybe tension, sadness, fear, confusing things. We can make it a much more pleasant place by feeling these things. Getting as angry as you possibly can on your own, feeling the anger seethe through your chest, tension through your arms and chest and legs and stomach and head. Growl like an animal as much as it takes. It takes many months to start to feel some peace. Grieve as much as you need to grieve. On the other side of this is an increasingly more peaceful body. But this can be done at the same time as just being aware of the two places your consciousness can be. You can be looking into your thoughts. You can be placing them on thoughts. The thoughts that confuse you, that cause chaos, that make you less peaceful. Or we can be inside our own bodies, just resting on the sensation. The emptiness sensation, just resting with it. not following the thoughts anywhere, not allowing them to take us into the urge to do something unhealthy. When we're around people, just keep your consciousness on your breath, on your sensation, on your arms, and allow the socializing to flow through you. Ask yourself, what do you want? Keeping the consciousness inside the body. What do I really want in this moment? And do that. Don't allow your thoughts to consider other people. This is not some way to be a psychopath. This is just for people who struggle with people pleasing. It's important for them to understand this and practice this. Bring your consciousness back inside your body and do what you need to do for yourself. Don't consider others in social situations. Say what you want to say and what you need to say. It may cause some messy situations, but more often than not, you're going to make some friends. People will start to see you as an attractive person because you are communicating authentically, which is the most attractive thing a human being can do. As we work on these two things, we work on feeling all our emotions, making the inner body a much more pleasant place to be. And we work on bringing our consciousness back. Do this by, in actual time, being inside your own body. We can even practice meditations where we place attention inside the body for a period of time, 10, 20 minutes a day. These two things combined will reveal a very powerful being that's underneath all these chaotic sensations and thoughts.